Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about why you should never feel guilty about walking away. So walking away is an act of self-respect, right? That's how I personally see it. It's walking away from people that are not treating you in the way that you want to be treated, perhaps like in like a negotiation terms, you're walking away from something that's not what you wanted, right? So you don't want to keep yourself in places where you are not getting what you feel like you deserve, essentially, right? So you should never feel guilty about that, because that is that act of self-respect that you are, displaying to yourself and to other people to say, look, this is what I want. And if I'm not going to get what I want, then I'm sorry, but I don't want to stay here because it doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't feel right to me. And you should never feel guilty about something like that. Especially if, let's say it was with people that, let's say it's like a friend zone situation. You said to someone who you really liked that, hey, I'd really like to start dating you. But, right, sometimes it's best to, when someone says like, hey, like, I'm not interested, I only want to be friends, you have to say, well, if you're really into them and you really like them, well, sorry, that's not what I want. I think you're really cute. I would really like to date you, right? So, let me know if you change your mind about it, but I don't want to be friends. That's not what I am personally looking for. That's personally not what I want. Okay? So you have to, have that self-respect and to start, demanding things that you want. And if people don't want to give you the things that you want, you have to walk away. You have to say no. And you know what? Get in touch if you change your mind about it. And you have to be like that with many different areas of your life. Like it could be like including jobs, job opportunities, career opportunities. It could also be, in friendships as well. Like if your friends aren't behaving in a way that you like, perhaps you've grown out of some of the things that they do. Perhaps now what you find that your friends do is kind of silly and you want them to grow up a bit. You need to start finding and start seeking friendships that you want and walk away perhaps from those old friends. It could be the same with family members. Let's say you have a family member who has like a really bad attitude, and every time you hang out with them, you feel really bad about yourself, you feel really negative. So obviously in those kinds of situations, when it's like a family member, sometimes you have to distance yourself from them. Sometimes you have to stop being around them so much. So ultimately you have to be, very, very strong with your convictions and not feel too guilty about it, because sometimes, we have to walk away from people that we even love and care about deeply, and we can feel a sense of guilt, like, oh my God, I feel really bad that I'm not spending the same amount of time as I used to with this person. But sometimes you outgrow people, sometimes you outgrow situations, and sometimes you just have to move on and leave those situations and those people so you can do what is right for you and right for your new mindsets that you might be developing. Because if you're around a family member, for example, that's really negative, that's going to affect you if they just drain your energy, because who we spend our time around is really important. Like there's a quote, I don't know who originally said it. I've heard it from various different people, but the 5 people that you spend most of your time with, can really, really affect your mood, your behavior, your life choices. So you need to make sure that the 5 people you spend most of your time with are, really great, people that inspire you, or at least are really positive and have a good attitude, at least, right? An attitude that maybe you've started to adopt. So you really need to take that into consideration. Now, I also think, if let's say you have a favorite content creator, let's say there's like a really good podcast that you love to watch, maybe that's for you. Perhaps you want that. I think that can be good as well. That can be a good influence on you. Let's say, you have a, like a favorite author, favorite audiobook. Maybe that would be good for you as well. Sometimes you have to, surround yourself with like positive content. If let's say you've got no one who is positive in your life, who has a good influence on you, sometimes that's the only thing that you can do. And luckily, there's so many, content creators out there that I'm sure you could find someone easily, find at least 5 people easily who you could just consume their content and watch all their stuff. And it'll make you feel really, really good about yourself. So, those are the sorts of things that you need to sort of take into consideration. And to never, ever, ever feel guilty about walking away from people, because, it's your life. You only get to live it once, right? So you have to, and eventually, everything is just of yours is ever, it's just going to disintegrate and turn to dust. That's just, what we have in common. All of us at some point are going to be 6 feet under the ground, or we're going to be burnt to a crisp, we've got a limited amount of time. We deserve to live it in a way that is happy and guilt-free, basically, because you can't live by, oh, I have to do this because I feel guilty about this person, and I feel bad when I don't see them, but I feel really miserable when I'm around them. It's not great. And you don't want to be living your life based on what other people want from you. Sometimes you have to do something for yourself, and that's why you should never feel guilty about walking away, because that's you personally doing something for yourself, for your own state of mind, for, even if it's just living by your own convictions, right? You have to live that way. You just simply have to, because life really is too short. The time goes, so you might, the time's going to go anyway, so you might as well be surrounding yourself with people that, make you feel good, that give you what you want, that are great to be around, that make you enjoy your life more, that can, make it really full and great. And you have to walk away from those people that are negative Nellies, that have a bad attitude, that perhaps romantic prospects that are just not interested in you. You have to do that. And, you have to live by that. You have to find what wants you and stay with those people. And ignore basically everything else, even if it's people that do want you in their life, but perhaps are not a good influence on you. So, that's what you have to start considering, and and not feel guilty about walking away from people, because it's not going to be of great benefit to you. Now, of course, sometimes you can't help but feel a bit of pang of guilt, like especially if this is someone who is, in your life, and you don't want to, for example, upset them, because, you don't want to upset people. It's not nice to upset people, right? So don't worry too much. I mean, obviously you're going to feel a little bit of guilt, but try not to. We'll get better with time. Once you see how much better your life is without these people that are not, benefiting you in some way, and personally, since I started doing things like that, when I start spending time with spending less time with people that are really negative, and start spending more time watching positive content or listening to audiobooks that are really uplifting and positive, and surrounding myself with people who are really uplifting and positive, my life has become so much better. It's so much more easier. And also, one of the things that I learned when I was dating, which was one of the first things, and how I learned this was, sometimes, you sometimes just have to walk away from those women that don't like you, right? Or men, if depending on who's watching this. Sometimes you simply have to do that. You have to walk away from those people that are just not interested. And the best way to know if someone's interested in you is that when you ask them out, they say yes and they show up. That's the best way to know. And people that are not interested will either not show up, or it will only be a couple of dates and everything will just fizzle out. That's how you know if someone likes you and wants you to be there. They'll be enthusiastic. They will be jumping at the chance to go out on with you. And that's how you know, right? You've got to spend your time with people like that. And that's also including friends. Spend time with friends that are really enthusiastic about hanging out with you. As well. Like, it works for loads of different kinds of people. Even your family members. There might be some family members that are a bit like, yeah, well, yeah, kind of a bit flaky. But hang out with those family members that do want to be there, that want to hang out with you, that will make the effort. And your life will be so much more peaceful, so much more effortless, because you're just surrounded by people who just want to be there. It's great. And if you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.